Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Crafty Kathy, and I'm so happy and thankful that you stopped in to craft and spend a little time with me today. I made some gorgeous Halloween DIYs with Dollar Tree materials, and you are not going to believe that this stuff came from the Dollar Tree. So without further ado, let's jump in. For the first DIY, we're going to need at least 3 of these candlesticks from Dollar Tree, of course. You can use up to 5, but I chose 3 because I just felt like that was a good amount. Now this one, I had placed a mold on the front that I had put like a little picture in the middle of. I done that with a previous DIY. You can do that if you want to, but I just wanted to let you know that this candlestick didn't come this way. That's where I placed that mold and decoupaged a picture. It's going to look fine if you don't have anything like that with just the candlesticks, trust me. Then you're going to need a long sign from Dollar Tree. Most of their signs are 2 foot long, and this one is one of those. We're going to use it on the back side. And I'm going to grab 2 pieces of this floral foam. I get mine from Hobby Lobby because you can get 6 of them in a pack cheaper than you can get 6 blocks of these from the Dollar Tree. Just throwing that out there. You can put these down with these tie wraps. That's what I call them. They're zip ties. But I found it easier in this place just to put down a little bit of glue and put both of my floral foams down. Try to make them where they're kind of in the same place on both sides, and I just left a small gap in the middle. The next thing that I'm going to do is take my 3 candlesticks. I chose 1 candlestick that was a little bit taller and then 2 that were the exact same size. I'm going to push them down slightly, and it's going to make an indentation in the floral foam. I just felt like by doing that and making a little indentation gives it its own little place to sit, and I just feel like it may be more secure and it's not going to wobble around on there. And you can see the little indentions here. Now the next thing that I did was took it outside and I spray painted it just lightly with the Rust-Oleum 2 times in the color called Oil Rubbed Bronze. Now I have to throw in there, don't be alarmed if your can looks different than mine. They make it in 3 different cans for some reason, but it's all the exact same spray paint. I just didn't want to get you confused on that. Here I'm just taking some Spanish moss. I also get this from the Hobby Lobby because I think it's a better deal and it doesn't smell like cat pee like the kind from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just putting in bunches, you see. I'm not trying to be careful, like make it perfect or anything. I'm literally just putting a little bit of this hot glue down on all of the sides, and then I'm kind of spreading out that moss and just putting it on there. It's just going to be a background feature. It does not matter if it's not perfect, and you really don't have to put a whole lot of it because we're just kind of trying to cover up those 2 floral foams. That's the only reason why I'm even putting it down. Now for that little spot in the middle where I don't have any floral foam, I just kind of grabbed a blob of the Spanish moss and put it down there just so that it would all look cohesive and go together. And I did go through and cover all sides of this floral foam with the moss. Now to make this where it's not going to shed a lot, you can use a spray adhesive like I did, or you can even use hairspray. I did grab this 24 pack of lights. These are the ones that I get off of Amazon, and they're only $11.99 for 24 packs. That's like 50 cents for each string light. These are way cheaper than Dollar Tree, and they last a lot longer. I'm just going to put a little tiny bit of glue on the very back side, and I always glue it down where the battery pack is sticking up. That way if I ever need to change it, it's right there and easy to access. Now, at first I started wrapping these string lights all the way around front and back, but then I realized you're not even going to be looking at the back, so we're just kind of wasting that beautiful light. I had added a couple of these floral pins just so that they would hold those string lights where I wanted them to go, and I just popped them back out and just kind of pulled the string lights so that they would be focused on the top part of the floral foam and toward the front portion there. And you see I'm just using those little floral pins. I get these at Hobby Lobby, and they are a lifesaver when you're using those with these floral foam. They will hold your flowers in. They will hold these lights in. They're just really great. Now, I did the exact same thing with another one of these little fairy light strings on the opposite side. I used a whole fairy light string on the right piece of the floral foam, and then I used one more on the left side. But this time I didn't try to wrap it all the way around. I just concentrated on the top and the front, and then I just popped those floral pins right in there to hold it all together. The next thing that I'm going to do is grab those 3 candlesticks that we made the indentions with earlier, and they're going to go right back in those indentions. I did feel like it was in my best interest to go ahead and just use a little bit of the hot glue underneath where those indentions are so that it would kind of grab onto those candlesticks and hold them in place just all the more better. Now we're going to start adding our florals. These are some black, like, I guess you would call them pampas grass that I got off of Temu. I have 6 pieces. I'm going to place 3 on each side, kind of right in the middle. I always put my tallest thing right smack dab in the middle because it pulls your eye in that direction. I also love to put things in groups of 3 because it just works that way. It's just cohesive and it looks right. Now I have these 2 large branches that I got from Dollar Tree, of course, and they were individual pieces that I got the other day. I'm going to place 1 each behind the pampas grass that we just put in, 1 on each side. Now I have the smaller orange branches, and there's usually about 5 stems on these. I'm just going to cut it all down, and I'm going to place them. I started placing them kind of up toward the front. I put 2 on each side. Then I had some really bright orange flowers that I got from Temu or maybe Amazon. I felt like these were just way too bright, and I want to show you how I kind of knocked the color down or muted them. That was the oil rubbed bronze that you see me spraying, and as you see, I'm just misting it across them. The one I'm pointing at is the bright color that it started off as, and now they're just kind of a muted tone. I cut these down, and if my memory serves me right, I did get these off of Amazon. I'll look and link them below if I can find them. I went ahead and cut all the 5 stems off, and I'm going to start placing them up toward the front. And my rule of thumb is always when you place one on one side, you're going to put it in the exact same spot on the other side. So you see I put 1 on each side in the front, and then 1 on the very sides of the project, and then I'm starting to go up toward front. Now I did leave 1 with a little bit brighter colors because it just kind of adds to it all. I like to have at least 3, maybe 4 different colors of the color that I'm working with my florals. As you see, my scheme is kind of orange. I've got bright oranges, burnt oranges, just all different colors in here of orange because I think it looks better. And that's just a personal preference. These are some more that I had purchased off of Temu last year, and I'm just sticking these in the front and in the sides so that they will just kind of flare out a little bit. Now you can make any floral arrangement work, I promise you. If you just use the rule that I gave you, if you put something on the top, put it in the same spot on the bottom. If you put something on the right side, put it in that exact same spot on the left side. And I promise you, if you try to match the sides and the top and the bottom and put the same thing in both places, I promise you it'll look good. This is a flower that I got at Hobby Lobby the other day. I know you can get these at Dollar Tree, but these looked so much better, and with their 40% off, I ended up paying $2.38 for 2 of them, so it actually came out cheaper than the Dollar Tree. The Dollar Tree is not the, absolute end-all best price you can get. Sometimes Hobby Lobby can beat their price, and the product looks better. So I like to add different things with my florals. Some of these are Temu, some of them are Amazon, some of them are Dollar Tree, and then a couple of are Hobby Lobby, because I just think it just makes it look better when you add different varieties. Some of them have better quality and some of them aren't that great, but it just works. Now these little balls, I'm not sure what these are. I got these at Hobby Lobby, and they were half off of $9.99, so they were $5 for one of the things. And it came with 5 little sprigs on it, but I love these so much. I used 2 sprigs of these on each side, and I stuck these in front of the black pampas grass, and then I realized that pampas grass needed to move all the way to the very back of the arrangement because it looks better. That's another thing I do when I'm making any kind of floral arrangement. I always stop often and just kind of look at everything and see if I need to move anything around. And 99% of the time, I do have to make little adjustments here and there. It just all depends. Sometimes things look good the way you leave them, and sometimes you need to tweak it a little bit. That's just a part of it. I did take 2 more of these little sprigs that are, I really don't know what those are, but I stuck 2 more toward the front. And then I've got these 2 little orange flowers that who knows where these things came from. And I'm just sticking 1 on each side right in the middle of each of my little floral foam pieces. At this point, we're getting really full, and there's not a whole lot more that we need to do to this. If you put too much, it just overwhelms it. And if you put too little, you're underwhelmed. So that's why I just think it's best to kind of, step back and look at it every so often and just see where things need to go. I added a couple more of the little orange frizzles. That's what I call them, because they look like little fireworks, like they're just making a little frizzle. I don't know. That's just in my mind. And I just stuck a few more of those in there. I have 2 of these little trees from Dollar Tree that look like little candy corns, and I thought that these would be so cute in here. I put 1 on each side, and I placed them right in the front of that black pampas grass because the black behind it will really make it pop. And they have, when you pull off the little wooden bottom, they have little metal pieces holding them together, and you can just pop those right in that floral foam. Then I grabbed my 3 lights. I got these off of Temu a few weeks ago. These are the ones that I used when I did the floating candles video. I stuck it 1 each in the little candle holders. And I wanted some kind of little ornament looking thing to go on here. And I don't know what Dollar Tree calls this thing, but it's just like a little ornament balls, I guess you would call it. I'm going to cut those off there. There was about 5. I'm going to place the larger ones kind of right in the front on the corners. And then I just placed the last few of those little balls. They all had like little floral stems on them, so they were easy to pop in that floral foam also. And that's all I did on this arrangement. It turned out so beautiful. We didn't use any glue, so we can reuse our pieces later. I hope you like this one. The second DIY is going to be another of my most famous Halloween DIY last year. It's the cat moon wreath. Now we're just going to use the wreath that I had already done. The way that I did this is just a grapevine wreath from the thrift store, and I put 2 tie wraps around it very tightly, one on top and one kind of on the bottom in the shape of a moon. And then I just used a saw and like sawed through the branches. But you do want to put your tie wraps on first, because you don't want the chance of the grapevine kind of, coming apart or anything like that. If you do put these tie wraps on them first, it's just going to create a really good stronghold, and you just make it the shape you want. If you want a smaller moon, of course, make it smaller. And I do think it looks better when you kind of, how can I put this into words? Like the ends of it come at an angle there. Do you see what I'm saying? The very tip end is kind of at an angle instead of just chopping it totally off, because it looks more like a moon. So I took mine outside and I spray painted it black. Actually, I used that oil rubbed bronze. That's kind of my black color for Halloween, I guess. But anywho, this is when I brought it back in after I spray painted it and I've got the tie wraps on. Last year, they didn't have the wooden cat at Dollar Tree, but the one from Dollar Tree, if you can find it, is so much better and prettier than the one that I used. This is the chunky Dollar Tree cat, and I spray painted it black, and I'm going to use some of this glitter that I got at Dollar Tree, of course, and it's like a very fine black glitter as opposed to this thick black glitter. The thin little fine glitter looks so much better in my personal opinion. And all I'm going to do is just take some Mod Podge and put it all over the front of my cat and add glitter. If you don't like glitter, just omit this step. It still looks great with or without the glitter. It does not matter. And I wanted to take a quick moment to welcome you to the video. I'm so happy that you stopped in to spend a little time with me today. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel already. And if you would, hit the like button, because that really helps me out on YouTube. Also, leave me a comment. Let me know which of these is your favorite. And if you're not much for leaving a comment, just leave me like a heart emoji or something, because all those things really help out my channel and help to support the channel. And I'm so thankful for every one of y'all that do comment and hit the like button, and of course subscribe. Not only am I going to use the florals that I took outside and misted with the oil rub bronze, I wanted to show you these foxtails. These are from Dollar Tree. They were actually pink, and I wanted them to be orange. You can see a little bit of the pink down at the bottom. I took these outside, and this was last year, or I would have showed you, and I misted them with the color called rustic orange, or rustic pumpkin maybe, but it's an orange Rust-Oleum color, and I just misted it the exact same way that I did the other flowers you saw earlier. My husband came up with the best way to get this cat to sit on this wreath. Now this cat is fat and chunky. It's the ones from Dollar Tree. You see how big he is. What you're going to do is take a long screw and go up through the bottom of your wreath into the cat, and it holds it perfectly. Now I did go ahead and use like a drill bit before I used the actual screw. That way we're not going to be splitting the wood when we put it in the cat. And I'm showing you this really long screw. He used one about half that size because we quickly realized that this one was just going to be way too much. But you do want a long one, because the further in that cat you go, the better hold it's going to give. Now once we got that cat screwed on there, look at this. It's not going anywhere. He just kind of pushed the drill up into that wreath, and to get it past the grapevine, and it just went right into the cat. And you can shake it, you can move it, but that cat will not go anywhere. And I'm so happy because last year I used hot glue and that cat came off really quickly. Now it's time to put all of our florals on. I'm going to use these that I got from Amazon last year, and I'm just going to pop them all off here. Now, I like these because they're long and they kind of feather out, and they're going to go along with the way that this wreath looks. The best way that I can tell you that I did this is I just would place one kind of in the middle, and I really changed this wreath around a lot as I went along, because this is one of those projects it just had to be changed some. But I put two up top, and then I kind of try to make them where they're not all bunched up, where they have a little bit of room to kind of flare out as it goes along. I'm going to place a few more of these up toward the top, and you see that I'm putting them in different places. I'm not putting a whole bunch of them in one spot, so that they will kind of go, kind of flow, I guess is the way that I'm trying to describe it. This is just a black floral that I picked up last year. I think I got these at the at-home store, but they do have these at Dollar Tree exactly like these. I only had two of them, so I just stuck them in, one on top and one on the bottom. They are wired, so they're really easy to curve and to go with the shape of the wreath. Now I'm going to cut off some of these other florals, and these are the ones that I took outside and spray painted with the oil rubbed bronze. As you can see, the color is muted, and like I was telling you before, if I'm using the color orange, I like to have different shades of orange. I like to have bright orange, a rustic muted orange, and kind of like a real brownish orange, as you can see. And then I'm adding black in there too, because in my opinion, it just adds interest when you have different shades of that same color scheme that you're going with. Now these foxtails, they came off of these little branches, and I didn't have one to stick one of these on. And this is just any kind of floral that you have. If it ever pops off, you can literally just cut the end off of one of your little stems off of something else and use it. I think I ended up using two of these orange foxtails on the top and two on the bottom. I just like the way that they bend, and they kind of go with the curvature of the moon wreath, and I just think that it looks good. I am going to use the other flower that I got from Hobby Lobby. These are the ones that ended up being $2.38 for both of them, and these have little clips on the back, which makes it super easy just to pop it right in the middle of my wreath. If I'm putting my florals on the side of a wreath, which that's kind of how I like to do it, I always put a focal point right in the middle, like this large flower. And when I put the flower down, I realized that I needed to move some of my florals because they seemed to be too bunched up. And that's exactly what I meant earlier by it's very important to just step back every little bit and just look and eyeball what you got, and just kind of move things around to make it look good. Don't be afraid to move it. You're going to make it probably look better. I put a couple of the little feathered pieces, the little black pampas grass, up toward the top, and then I put about 3 down on the bottom. I wanted to have the same number on the top as I do on the bottom, and I use the exact same rule as I do with all my florals. I do like to watch that guy called Ramon at Home on YouTube, and the way that he explains it is what goes up must come down. All that means is what you put on the top, put the exact same thing in the exact same spot on the bottom, and then what goes to the left goes to the right. It's basically you just match up the sides like I was telling you on the other project. And as you can see, I quickly realized that those black pampas grass did not look good to stick them so close together, and that's all I'm doing here is changing it up and trying to feather them out a little bit. I thought that this orange would look really good beside that big orange flower, just because it's a different shade of the orange, and I felt like it would pull your eye in there just a little bit more. And then as I went along, I thought, I think I've got too much of this black pampas grass. It was just screaming very busy to me. And I feel like the less that you put here sometimes, the better off you're doing. I have 3 of these small ornaments, and these came from Dollar Tree. This was actually on my wreath last year. I'm just going to take some of this black floral wire. I'm going to run it through all of those 3 ornaments, and then you twist your floral wire, and it just makes like a little bundle. I think it really looks good when you do it in this way and you put 3 of them together. And since it's the floral wire, it's going to be very easy for me just to run it right through that grapevine wreath and twist it and tie it exactly where I want it to go. I ended up running it through some of that grapevine at the bottom and just tying it really tight so that it would go right up above that large flower we have there and really make a statement. Now it's time to put our spider on the very end, and I decided to use some of this black floral wire to put my spider on because the floral wire is very easy to maneuver, and you can have him placed exactly where you want him. I just tied the floral wire like around the middle part of his body, underneath his legs, and then went around the very tip end of the top of my wreath and just made it really nice and tight, and he won't go anywhere. And the spider was the last piece that I added, and I hope you like this one. Just imagine, if you would like, you can add lights to this, and that would really make a statement on your front door. Now let's go into DIY number 3. It's really quick and easy. I'm going to use some of this decoupage paper that my friend Brandy makes herself and one of these little Inspire blocks from Dollar Tree. We're just going to make a shelf sitter. Now look at these beautiful prints that is on this year's Halloween. I love this little steampunk crow. He is so cute, or raven, whatever you want to call him. I'm going to use the spooky house that's at the bottom of the picture here on the left, but I do quickly want to show you this is one that she had created last Halloween, but if I'm not mistaken, she probably still has more of these for sale, and I will leave the link down below where you can go and buy some of these. They are at a great price, and they're beautiful quality, as you can see. I'm just kind of getting an idea of how much I need, and I'm just going to quickly cut this piece off with the scissors so that it makes it smaller and much easier to manage. Now, the first thing that I need to do is just paint this all black. Anytime that I'm decoupaging, I like to use a light colored background like a white or an ivory color because it makes your picture pop. And since I'm using the DIY paint, this is the color beadboard. It's only going to take 1 coat. If you ever want to try the DIY paint or a lot of the supplies I use, I get it from Lori at Milton's Daughter, and I always leave her information down below so that she's easy to find. Now, anytime that I'm decoupaging, I love to just use these little glue sticks. It makes it so easy. This is the easiest way that I have ever found to decoupage anything. And I started using these like a few years ago because I just thought to myself, can't we just decoupage without using that old Mod Podge and making it goopy and gross? I noticed that people that did a lot of scrapbooking and paper crafts used it in that way, and I thought surely we can do it with decoupage too. And I'm so glad that I tried it, and so many people use it and see how easy it is. And it's not permanent, so if you want to take it off and change it up later, you can. I use this on so many projects. They do have permanent glue sticks that I get at Amazon, and that way if I do want something to be permanent, I use those. So as you see, I just put down my glue stick, I rubbed it out to smooth it down, and then I'm going to grab my little sander and go around the edges and take those off. When you're sanding, just always remember to go in a downward motion, and it will help to not pull your edges back up. I grabbed some of these DIY wooden stickers from Dollar Tree. I grabbed the bat, and I don't know why I didn't film it, but I took my brown ink, it's called Rustic Brown, and I went around all the edges of my shelf sitter because I feel like it just kind of frames it out and makes it look better. And I'm going to use that ink pad to also color in the bat. Now these bats have this little adhesive thing on the back, and I'm just going to move it down a little bit so that you can't see it. It's hidden by the bat. And that's all there was to this one. I hope you like it. And guys, if y'all stuck with me through all of today's video, I just want to thank you so much for being here. I have had a very eventful week. My prize chicken, Loretta, almost died. We had to take her to the vet because she was really, really sick. And she had some type of a respiratory illness. But she's on the mend now. There was a few days where I really thought we were going to lose her. And thank God she's doing so much better. My husband has went and bought her crickets at the bait and tackle store for the past 3 or 4 days, and she has made a great recovery. Guys, if y'all have not subscribed to my channel yet, please hit that subscribe button and become a part of our channel. I would love to have you here. And don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and if you would, don't forget to leave me a comment. And I have a really quick video of the chicken babies, the new little babies, while they're chasing the crickets. They had so much fun with this. It was so funny. I hope to see you guys back here next time. My videos are every Monday and Thursday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I'll see you here on the next one. I also have a really quick video of Loretta, and this is the day when I knew she was going to be okay.
Hey, Retta, you want crickets? This is good protein for that girl. Look, Retta, these are crickets. Oh. She says, oh my goodness, oh gosh, this is breakfast in bed, Dad. Oh, I'll have to get sick more often.
Look at them. Uh-oh. Them things hop out of there and they come running. Look at them. Oh my gosh.
Get it, guys. It's crickets.
Ooh.
Get it, Retta.
Here's one.
Get it, guys, get it.
Get him. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Breakfast is served. They said, oh my
Gosh, this is great.
look how they've all got one. Look at them fighting over them.
get him, Retta. Get him.
Get them, Retta. Look, you can get them coming right out of your bag. That's
She
easy.
said, that's a plate lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she said, what happened to her? There's one behind you, Retta.
Mm-hmm.
It got out, Retta. Look behind you. There they are.
She's gonna get them. She says, oh, this is easy snatching right here. Look, the babies are going, where's ours at?
There's one on your foot. One on your leg.
I know they don't sting, but I don't want them on me.
guys. Come on, dear.
Nasty things. Ugh.
Come on, dear. Breakfast is served this morning.
Those crickets must really taste good, because they sure do like them.
Is it good, Retta? Is it good, baby? Is it good? Oh, my girl.
Did you know that you can click on my face if you're on a phone or a tablet and become a part of our channel and subscribe? You sure can, and I would love for you to do that. Also, if you did enjoy this video, I have 2 more right here to pick from. You just click on whichever one you want, and you will be transported there in just a minute. I love you guys. See you soon.